Today we're going to learn about one of the elements of art and design, and it's called line. And this is going to be our final product, but first we're going to learn about some of the different lines that you will see in art. So you have a piece of paper in front of you, and we're going to have it landscape, and you should have a pen or a pencil. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a horizontal line in the center of the page, separating the top and the bottom, straight. And then you're going to draw two vertical lines separating to make 6 boxes. And in these 6 boxes, we're going to practice some of the lines that will make up the caterpillar that we are going to make at the end. So in one box, we'll do the upper left-hand corner. You're going to write your name. And we're going to write what we're learning about, which is lines. Now the first line we're going to practice in the box right next to where your name is a vertical line. And a vertical line is a line that goes up and down, and they can be long, short, can be dotted or broken. It can be thin, and it can be fat or bold. So go ahead and practice vertical lines in this first box, all different types. Up and down. And then in the next box, right next to the vertical box, we're going to practice the line called horizontal. And a horizontal line is a line that goes left to right or right to left, straight across. So kind of like the horizon line, that's how I keep them straight. Horizon line is where the sky meets the land or the sea. So a horizontal line is the same idea. It's going to be a straight line that goes across your page. And again, it can be long, it can be short, it can be broken or dotted, it can be thin, or it can be bold and fat. And I'm gonna make this one extra bold and fat. You can see it, but it's still a horizontal line, even though it's very thick. Whoa, extra thick. So go ahead and practice your horizontal lines. Now in the box underneath your name, we're going to practice another type of line, and it's called diagonal. Now a diagonal line is similar, obviously these are all lines, but this is going to go from top to bottom at an angle. And again, it can be long, it can be short, it can be super short, it can be dotted, and it can even cross the other direction. It can be fat or bold and thick. And these are all types of diagonal lines. So why don't you go ahead and practice your diagonal lines in the box below your name. Then in the next box, we're going to practice one of my favorites, and it's called the curve line. And a curved line is fun. It's like, I think of it as like a rainbow, right? So you can have lots of curves. Or like this is kind of a fancy, some people call these fancy lines. Whee! You can also make like a smile or a curve like a snake. And again, they can be little teeny ones, or they can be big, fat, curvy ones, but they're curved, rounded edges, right? You can go ahead and practice your curves. And then in the last box, we're going to go ahead and practice the last kind of line for us, although there are so many different types of lines that you can practice. The last one we're going to practice together is called an angle. Oops, my G is a little weird there. Sorry about that. Oop. And an angle line is one that comes to a point together. You can think of it as like almost like a triangle, like an open triangle. So here would be an angle, like a greater than or less than symbol, right? Or look, it looks like a heartbeat almost, or a mountain range. These are all angles. They're pointed, open triangles, right? And again, they can be small or large. They can be thin, or they can be bold and thick. I'm gonna make this one really bold for you. You can go ahead and practice your angles in the last box. And while you're practicing your angles, you're going to keep this sheet in front of you, and then your teacher is going to pass out a piece of paper with circles on it for you. So I'm going to put my paper to the side so I can keep track of it. And for some of us, we're going to get a piece of paper that has the circles with words written underneath, so you can keep track of which type of line you're going to do in each of the circles. So it's up to you which one you pass out. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one so that it's easy for us to follow along. So in each of these circles, what we're going to do is we're going to draw that type of line inside each of those circles as many times as we want, and decorate inside of each of the circles. And then this last one that says face, that's where we're going to put the face of the caterpillar or the worm or the centipede, depending on what you're making, okay? So in the first one, I'm going to go ahead and make some curves. And I'm using a nice dark pen because I want them to really show. But some of us don't like to use pens, so pencils are fine, colored pencils are fine, but I like Sharpie. So that's about as many curves as I'm going to do. Then I'm going to move here and I'm going to do some vertical lines. Vertical lines, remember, up and down. I'm going to make a little pattern here. Oh, it looks like a street. I'm going to make a bold one here. And it's okay if you go outside your lines because you're going to cut these out. Then I'm going to quickly make some horizontal. Over. And now I'm going to make some diagonal lines. I'm going to do some diagonal lines this way to give some. And then I'm going to make my angles. That looks like it's pretty filled in. And then I'm going to make my face, and I'm just going to make a silly face here. Beep, 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 beep. And a big smile with a little tiny nose. And then I'm going to draw my antenna on here. Okay, and then at this point what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and color them any color you want. And you don't need to stay in the lines again because you're going to be cutting them out. I'm going to make that purple. I'm going to make this one blue. And I'm using crayons because then my Sharpie really shows and I can see the lines really well that I've made. And you can use any colors you want. You don't have to use one color in each circle. You can make one circle have many different colors, but I'm just doing it fast. Using the side of my crayon so I can do a bigger space faster. I think I like my vertical circle the best so far, but we'll see once I cut them all out. And then what do I need? Oh, how about orange for the face? Beep, beep, beep. Maybe I won't color in the eyes, just to give it a little depth. And there you go. I've colored it in. So then what you're going to do is you're going to get another piece of paper, blank, landscape again, and you're going to draw your background wherever your caterpillar is going to be. Mine's just going to be hanging out on the grass. So I'm going to draw my hills, and then I like to do grass when I color it up and down, show that that's the way that grass grows. And again, I'm doing this fast, but you can take your time. No need to rush. I'm going to color in that mountain a little bit more. Actually, it wouldn't be a mountain, right, if it's a little caterpillar. And I might do, what do you think, like a couple flowers? Make a very simple flower here. Color it in. And then there's my background. So then I'm going to cut out my circles, and then I'm going to glue them on my paper so that it looks like that with your finished product. And you've made a caterpillar that shows all the different types of lines that we've learned about today. Don't forget you could add antenna and some feet as well if you'd like. And that's it. Good luck.